to become motivated members of the enlisted corps of the greatest Air Force in the world. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. The flights you will view today are a representation of the enlisted force. Each flight represents an enlisted member of the Air Force who has embodied our core values and contributed to its heritage. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass in review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The airmen recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States Air Force in armed conflict, including present-day operations in Afghanistan. They include 8 Medals of Honor, 27 Air Force Crosses, and 188 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all airmen to execute their duties courageously and with honor in the service to this great nation. Armed with a knowledge of our past, the airmen will exit the Heroes Walk by marching over a blue line, signifying their accession into the greatest air power in the world. From the 322nd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 18, Right Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Andrew Spiker, hometown, Reading, Pennsylvania.
All right.
31st Training Squadron, hometown, Paso Robles, California. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing the Air Force's first female Chief Master Sergeant, Peterson Flight, led by Master Sergeant Ryan Hoskin, hometown, Big Bear, California. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 13, Bench Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Amanda Stepp, hometown, Belleville, Illinois. From the 324th Training Squadron, representing the first female Combat Arms Major Command Program Manager, Dupret Waldo Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Chad Countryman, hometown, Grand Saline, Texas.
Oh, she's due any day. She's already dropped.
Oh, yeah.
From the 324th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 2, Harlow Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Miranda Schaefer, hometown, Elkins, West Virginia.
See how the leaders salute every
From
time
the
they go past.
324th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 15, McKinley Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Benjamin Perry, hometown, San Francisco, California. From the 324th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force number 11, Campanelli Flight, led by Staff Sergeant Mackenzie Harchak, hometown, Rainey, Pennsylvania. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the U.S. military, and an even smaller percentage in the United States Air Force. You should be proud of their accomplishments thus far. The airmen before you have reached a milestone in their Air Force journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. These airmen are the future of our Air Force and will pave the way for future generations of airmen as we continue to fly, fight, and win. our thanks to the many families and friends of America's airmen for the support of our airmen and the greatest air power the world has ever known.
What do you think? Did they look good marching down here? Look great. Hey, the families, let me first just start by saying thank you. As an airman who wears stripes on their sleeve and who has stood on this parade field with a mom and two aunts in probably these very same bleachers, I would just say your presence here this morning matters. It means the world to them. It's encouraging, inspiring, motivating, and your continued presence, your continued support throughout this Air Force journey will again mean the world to them. So thank you again for coming, and to you I'd offer welcome to our Air Force family. Field and down this bomb run and crossed into the blue. In 10 minutes from now, you're going to march off this parade field and into the rest of your Air Force career. You're going to march on to tech school, where we will teach you one of more than 100 specialized skills that we need in our Air Force. And then you're going to march on to your first duty station, where you will apply that skill to the support and defense of our nation. And then you will march on throughout your Air Force career for as long as it'll take you. And I can guarantee you this morning, for some of you, it will last much longer than you could ever imagine at this moment. That journey is going to happen. It will take place. The only question is what it will look like and how you will carry yourself along the way. And so before you go, I would just offer 3 thoughts. Always walk with the humble appreciation for the awesome responsibility placed on you by a very grateful nation. Always walk with a passion to learn, to develop and grow into who you can and will become. And always walk with pride, because you are part of the best team in the world. And as long as, yes. You are part of the best team in the world. As long as we continue to have men and women like you raise their right hand and join our ranks, nobody will ever be able to take that away from us. I'm proud of you this morning. I can guarantee you that everybody here this morning is proud of you. And as you go on this journey, they will be with you every step of the way. So go forth, do great things. The world is watching, and they're waiting. Congratulations.
And so to our graduating airmen, I have 2 things for you today. One is a story, and one is a question. And I'll start with the story, because I think the story is one that I hope will resonate with you, but I hope that it will resonate with all of us, whether or not it's BMT teammates, whether or not it's our friends and families here, or whether it's all of the amazing right here on this parade field. See, the story is the story of a little girl. There was a storm. It was a rather powerful one. And a crowd had gathered afterwards and looked upon a beach. And what had happened as a part of that storm is there were thousands of starfish that had washed up on that beach. And there was this little girl, this brave little girl, that walked out. And she started picking up starfish and putting them back, throwing them back into the ocean. One at a time, and there were thousands. And so there was a man that separated himself from that crowd and walked up to her with a puzzled expression and said, "What are you doing? Do you know that there are thousands of starfish here? You're not going to get this done." She looked back up at him, puzzled and a little frustrated. And you know what she did? She reached back down, picked up the starfish, and she threw it back into the ocean. And she said, "I made a difference for that one." And she did it again. Put another one in. And I made a difference for that one. You know what that man did? He saw it. She was right and he was wrong. And he picked up the starfish and he threw it into the ocean. And then all of that crowd joined that little girl, that brave little girl, and that man. And they too grabbed starfish. And what each of them did was to recognize that we can all make a difference. You make a difference with your service. You make a difference for our nation. You make a difference for our Air Force. And I'm telling you, you make a difference for our world. One person at a time, one act at a time. No matter how small, no matter how big, it is you that makes a difference. It will be you that will take our Air Force to heights that we can't even imagine. And it is the honor, it is the pride of my lifetime to be able to serve here at basic military training, to serve around all of the amazing that I get to be around, and to be part of the Air Force that welcomes its open arm to you. Thank you for the service. Thank you for your opportunity. And thank you for the difference that you will make. So I promised you two things, a story and a question. So let's go ahead and bring that question home. I have just one question. And it's, are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force? Holy smokes, I think that's a yes.
Now administer the oath of enlistment.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Airman. Welcome to
Agreed and remain in place for the departure of our official party. I am an American Airman. I am a warrior. I answer my nation's call. I am an American Airman. My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am faithful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor. I am an American Airman, fighting for freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield, its century and measure. I defend my country with my life. I am an American Airman, living and being rewarded. I'll never leave them behind. I'll never falter. Now will I have.
Started 3, 2, 3.
I see him. I see him, Joy. Right there.
Okay.